Okay.
Right, what have you found?
I found something. These tracks being sold by a farmer, and they're about the right length. They're about 3 meters long is what the wheelbase will achieve. So they're 500 wide and about 2.8 meters wheelbase. They're about 2 hours away. Right. Oh, and they come with drive sprockets as well. So let's see if they're available. Cool. It's nearly square. Like it's wide, but you'll help with the skid steering.
It's not moving. Oh, shit.
It's heavy. But if we build it to that scale, that length, if we go that wide, we can't transport it.
We can't put it on a trailer.
Yeah, I think we have to
go all the way over to here.
We'll take a little bit of liberty and just bring it down, just so it's within legal length.
How far? We could go on a trailer like that, right?
No, we just don't want to exceed like 2.5 and need to have road closures to transport.
That's our limit.
Right, we just want to bring it down so we can just...
Well, if we do it as a standard double pallet, 2.4 wide or 2 point...
Yeah, if we keep it 2.4, we don't need any permit.
You're gonna get this so we can go slightly wider than this.
That's 2.4 there.
You got to make the tape measures tall. What is it now?
I was getting the tape measure right leg.
2.4.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's right.
So I want to look at this. One for bum cheek.
I've got. Wait. I've got Josh's
seat.
I got blue tops. So they look like rubber tracks, but they're very heavy because every one of these is a steel bar. If you look inside, there's teeth sticking off steel bar, and then there's steel cables connecting all the steel bars together, the tension members, and then it's all cast in rubber. Right, but the weight is the fact that it's a lot of steel. Like every one of those is probably 1 kilo per rung. So she adds up.
300 or 400?
Yeah.
And so engine type?
We'll need a big engine, big torquey engine. So, big V8 or a V10. V10 would be accurate to the model. It's got 10 little runners on the top of the little chrome plastic piece there. So it'd be ideal if we could get a big V10.
Where would that go? Sit? Accurate. Where would it sit?
So I'm thinking if we sit an engine here just like the model, engine here, we've got no room for the transmission behind it, so we run the engine backwards, just like on a Countach where you have the engine and the transmission goes down between the seats, and then we use a transfer case that would normally be running the drive back to the front axle, right? It's going to run back and use that front diff as the rear diff, and we will have to lock the center diff, and because we're going to delete, there's no point driving the front of the tracks, you only need to drive the back, right? So we delete the front tail shaft, which was originally the rear tail shaft. So we lock the front diff, the center diff, remove the front diff, and it's just a 4-wheel drive.
2-wheel drive?
Yeah, but we're just using like a off-the-shelf 4-wheel drive gearbox and engine. So hopefully.
And where would you sit?
We sit either side of the transmission.
Two?
So yeah, I reckon, well,
he wants it to be 2-seater.
Okay.
2 would be more fun, right? You've got to experience this with somebody. 2 will be fun. It's going to be hard with the bodywork to fit 2 people in.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
There is another version of it. There's a version.
You drive like this.
The Fast Traxx that is like a buggy that looks really similar but like wider just in the center section. I'll find a picture of that. Yeah, maybe even further forwards.
Well, you can put feet pretty much right to the front of the tracks, yeah?
That leaves heaps of room for a big V10. Yeah. Okay. That'll work.
Yeah. Alright. You go down.
So what we're doing here is very quickly testing the feasibility of fitting everything into it. So we found some trucks, and that's setting our scale. And I've got this generic model of a driver and a generic model of a V10. That one happens to be a Ford, apparently, and the tracks. And we're going to see if it all fits with the overlaying the pictures of the toy car.
And what are the main concerns with scale?
We're just trying to see if we can package and use off-the-shelf parts. So we're trying to use this donor vehicle, use its engine, its gearbox, which we haven't modeled yet, and just trying to see if it all fits in and there'll be room for somebody to climb in afterwards and drive it around. So I'm just playing with what size wheel we put at the front and the back, so it's staggered like the original RC car, and just working out what wheelbase we'll achieve with that, and then if a person will fit inside after doing all that scaling. We're also playing around with, let's limit it to 2.5 meters in width, because that way we can legally transport it when we finish building it and take it out to a farm and rip it around.
That engine is quite close to the driver, no? That's awesome. You will definitely feel the power.
You'll hear that. Yep. Yeah. It's the engine we're using is twin turbo, and the turbos sit right here just behind where we'll put a firewall. We're just playing at the moment with if we can fit two people side by side. I think we're going to take a little bit of liberty with the width of the cabin, but I think it will fit. That will let us run a tail shaft down in between. If we have one person in the middle, it's going to be a bit challenging with the tail shaft. We'll have to either sit the pilot above the tail shaft or dogleg the tail shaft around, which is going to be a lot more challenging. But pretty happy with what we've achieved here, because the front wheels fit inside, the rears fit, and it's all fitting.
Nice. What do we got here?
Just working out a way that we can add some suspension so that we don't rattle the teeth out of the test pilot or destroy fatigue the steel frame or anything. Yeah, I think we just suspend the cab, which means we're suspending the engine as well and all the running gear. But we keep this part very rigid, right?
Oh, okay.
Right. So it is suspension, and you've got a track. This is like looking at it from behind, and we've got the cab here. It's got the V10 engine inside.
Yep.
And with that, we've got CV joints and axles already, right? So we can independently articulate these tracks from the cabin.
Yep.
From a drive point of view. It's just how do we rigidly connect this? And I was just researching, and I saw pictures of how they do it on a Bobcat skid steer, and they just have a bar across underneath the chassis, front and back, with a tube inside it that has a link down, and then they attach that point to the track frame.
Okay.
Right? And then we just run a torsion bar front and back underneath the cab with a link down to here. And we either use this just as a pivot point and have a separate spring,
Yep.
or we can have a torsion rod where we mount that point rigidly and we twist the rod, or we have a solid rod and we put rubber around it and it twists inside that rubber
So does that
mounting.
mean the cab is sitting up on top of...
Yeah, so our frame sits up on here with our engine up here and our driver sitting here, right?
Yep.
This link here can't be quite as rigid as the front one. We need like an extra shackle like that. just so, because this length between these two changes as it goes up and down.
Yeah.
But we just mount one of them rigidly and one with an extra shackle.
Okay. Yeah, nice. So it gives us a little bit of suspension.
A little bit of suspension, and it holds all this. Like we can't, like on a car, you have a swing arm suspension and your camber changes and things like that. Whereas we want this track to stay square, even when it's like rides up and over something.
Yeah.
So this method, and it just means it moves slightly backwards and forwards as through the arc of the suspension travel. But that's, that's not an issue.
Yep.